So I am going to introduce myself. I am Dr. Stacy Martin. I am the virtual math instructor for Wisconsin Literacy. Tonight I'm going to talk about some math tips, tricks, websites, things that I use when I'm teaching math with my students. I'm going to go pretty quickly through the material because I like to leave plenty of time for people to ask questions. But I really would like to just really quickly have everyone just introduce themselves and then tell me kind of which agency you're with and what your role is working with students. So Shannon, do you want to go first? I see Shannon on my screen.
Yes, so I'm Shannon Mason-Young. I'm the Northwest Regional Literacy Consultant.
Cassie.
Hi, I'm Cassie McLean. I'm the Regional Community Coordinator for the North Central region for Wisconsin Literacy.
And Deb Hellquist.
Sorry, I'm Deb Hellquist, and I'm the coordinator for Sawyer County Literacy, and I coordinate, but I also tutor.
Tutor, okay. And I'm going to butcher your name, Rocio.
You said it perfectly.
Oh,
sorry, I was in an apple.
no, I'm sorry.
My name is Rocio, and I'm going to be tutoring some students, ESL students and GED students for the Latino Academy of Workforce Development.
Okay, and Julie Schultz.
Hi everyone, Julie Schultz from Menominee Tribal Education.
And Marie Schmidt.
I'm a literacy student with Fond du Lac Literacy, and I'm tutor.
Tutor, okay. And Rose.
Rose.
Hi there. At least can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I'm a tutor of just one young man, and I tutor with WestCap.
Okay. And Sherry. Nope. Lori. Koenig, Lori. Nope, non-speakers today. That's okay. Marcia.
Yes.
Just real quickly, Lori said that she doesn't have a microphone, so she said hello.
Oh, no microphone. Okay, sorry, Lori. Marcia. And Ashley.
Associate Director at Wisconsin Literacy.
All right, I think that's everybody that I can, that's everyone I can see on my screen. Is that everyone? Did I miss anybody? I think I got everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna see if I can make this all work. How's that?
I'm sorry, but I have a quick question right away. All these tips and tricks and sites you're going to give us, is that going to be something I'm sure I can't take notes very fast. So is that all going to be something I can look up later than we're done?
I'll pop all of the materials into an email and all of the, I'll give you all the web addresses. I'm going to just, I have everything. I'm logged into all of the websites so that I can just show you really quickly, just a brief look through the websites. And then I will send you the link so you can create your own account and look through the sites on your own as you have time. Sound good?
Yep, thank you.
All right, now let's see if I can share my screen and show my presentation. How about that? All right, share screen. Do this one. And here, and slideshow. Okay, can we see my slideshow? No? Yes?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, so let's see how to, so now I'm gonna tell you, this is my.
We can walk you through it.
Right here. Nope, got it, I got it. I just had to open that one up. And
now we've got it. Perfect.
Slideshow, okay.
Good job.
Okay, There we go. First step, math. That's me, Dr. Stacy Martin. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do today is talk about the math books that I use. I'm going to just give you the quick look at what the math books look like. I have a very, very, very full office at home, so I have tons and tons and tons of materials, which are stacked all over. So I'm going to try and grab them and just show you just the basic covers of these, and then we're going to talk about what's inside these. So here is the non-math because of the background. All right, the books that I use are often from New Readers Press because they seem to have the most versatile books when it comes to basic skills for math. The series that I use is Math Sense. Book number 1 is called Focus on Operations. That is basic overview of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. I will show you a little more. I'm going to go through just a little bit, and then I'll try and show you, try and shift from there to websites too. But this is new to me, trying to do this with this Zoom. Okay, so first one is just basic skills. The second book in the series goes a little bit deeper into algebra. And the third book is Focus on Analysis. And that is on graphs, tables, data, etc. Now, like I said, this PowerPoint is going to be very quick. I want to show you more as we get further on, and I can show you where these are on their website as well. Okay, second book that I use, also New Readers Press, is the GED book from Kaplan. That is the Big Blue book. That gives you background in the 4 subject areas: social studies, science, math, and social studies, science, math, and the RLA. The math in this is very, very comprehensive. So it starts from basic skills and it works through all the way to the advanced algebra and geometry. They have a workbook called Calculator Practice. That is for the TI 30 calculator. I have a background up here, so everything I hold up is being blocked by my background too, which is not really helpful. The calculator TI 30 XS, and I will show you a little bit more on that too. Score boosts are also super fun, also through New Readers Press. Those you can pick the book for what you want for each individual student. So some students will need help with decimals, fractions, percents. You'll use the math 1. Others will need algebra math 2. I'm just giving you, this is called super fast overview time here, because I want to get this off my screen so I can show you more. Okay, the website. This is where we're going to go because I don't want to show you this. So let's see if I can share my screen and show you some other stuff here. Let me go here and go to New Readers Press, and I'll show you the stuff on New Readers Press. How's that? Okay, this is what do I want here? Math Sense. Okay. Well, let's see what can you see my screen? Can you see the New Readers Press?
Yes.
On my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Give me thumbs up. Give me something here, people, because I don't know what you can see because all I can see is my background. Okay, so these are the books that I enjoy, that I like using. And I set a PowerPoint just because that keeps me on focus here a little bit. But now I'm just going to work backwards through my tabs on my computer so I can show you the fun stuff. Okay. All right, so Math Sense. These books are fantastic because they give you a really good look at math. They break everything down super easy. So when you're working with a student, if you're tutoring for basic skills or you're tutoring for GED, you can go to very, very specific things in the Math Sense books that will take you right to what that student needs to know. Typically, when I'm teaching math, I have students take the math TABE test. And when we break down from the math TABE test, it will tell you what skills they are lacking. In the Math Sense books, you can go directly to those skills and teach exactly what they need. So I'm going to do just a really quick dividing decimals, etc. And okay, holler if you guys want me to go look at any more of anything here. Go back and go to number 2. I'll just do a little quick look at number 2. Powers and roots. So this is more algebra. Focusing on algebra stuff. I'm a stickler for the rules when it comes to math. So I like to start students at so that they can learn the rules. Oh, where am I here? This one. And then let me go back 1 to number 3. Really quick. So probability, so this number 3 is the more advanced of the books for New Readers Press. Okay, and then let me clear these off here quick, and then I'm going to show you that Kaplan book really fast. We have a chat. It's the paper tables. You know what, Deb, actually, let me address that in just a minute. Your question about the TABE. Okay, let me get back here because I wanted to show you the GED book really quick. Score boosts. So here's some of the score boosts that you can use. So now you can get these, any of these through New Readers Press. And if you ask your agency, they can probably order these for you as well. Let me see if I can get to some math ones here. Fractions, decimals, proportions. Let's take a look inside. These are fantastic too. Another great thing. So these are direct from the tests. These will help you using the calculator, solving ratios, proportions, etc. Okay. All right. Are we bored yet from looking at books? Are we? So math is that one thing that most people hate so bad that they don't want to talk about it ever. But there are about a million things out there that I could show you that I really, 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 really love using. But I don't want you to all to hang up and leave on me today. Okay, ready? Let's move on to some fun ones now. Okay, so let's go to websites because I like the websites better. All right, here we go. This website, this is from Goodwill. This is Goodwill Industries. This is their website that they created, and they have different areas for teaching. So here's reading and math. So here is where I go for teaching basic skills. If I'm going to teach a student basic skills for math, this is where I'm going to go. It's the Goodwill Industries. You can click right on addition, subtraction. It'll give you an introduction to addition, and it's very, very basic. So if we're working with students that are potentially ESL students, that the language piece of math is frustrating, this is a good place to start because we are teaching the basic skills of what the English equivalent would be for some of the math language. All right, so we're gonna go back to the tutorial. Question? Was there a question?
Stacey, I have a question. When you're working with learners in GCF Global, do you have them? I know you can do all of this work without setting up an account, but if you do if the learner sets up an account, they can come in and follow along with their progress. Yep. How do you usually have the learner set up their own account? And it's free.
Typically, it is free. Yep. Everything so there's only one that has a cost to it that I'm going to show you tonight. Everything else is free. So yes, I have students set up accounts. Typically what I do with a student is I help them create a GED or a Gmail account that is only specific for their learning. So I don't use their personal account. I help them set up just a general Gmail account. And I use that to help them log into every single website that we're going to use. So then I have the login and password for their Gmail, and that's the same thing we use to log them into every site. So if you see right here on the screen where it says log in to save your progress, that's what I would have them do is log in using that brand new Gmail account that we created with, I always use literacy123 as the password. And I just use the same password for everybody when we create accounts because it's just easy. And you're working with a literacy teacher, so you think literacy. So literacy 123 is easy enough for everyone to remember. But yes, I have them log into everything because you don't want them to have to start over. And if they want to go in, if a student wants to go in and work on their own time, which with math they usually don't, but we try really hard. I try very hard to get them to do a little bit each day. But I then can go in and I can log into their account and see where they're at and see what they've done. So questions on the GCF. And there's more than just, there is more here than just the math. They also have reading activities. And then I know we're not talking about that today, but they have some core skill things. And in the core skills, the writing, personal finances in here as well. Also math. Most people don't like to think about it, but yes. GED prep resources are also in here. So let's just click on that really quick. I'm not supposed to only talk about GED. So trying not to only talk about GED, but that's where most of my time is spent. So and here's that Kaplan book. This is for the paid course. If you have GED students that want to work on math, they can work with me. For all the websites, yes, I will send you an email with with all the links for. I'm sorry, I'm kind of bouncing all over the place. Rocio asked if all of the websites and books are listed on the presentation. I will send them in an email. Okay, any questions on GCF? Okay, moving on. Learning Upgrade. So Learning Upgrade is this is another site that is through New Readers Press. This site is the only one that I'm going to show you that actually has a cost. There's a cost per seat, but if you go on to the Pro Literacy website, you can write a grant through your agency for their they have a virtual learning grant, and you can write a grant for seats for Learning Upgrade. So this is the student and teacher login. I'm going to show you what the teacher login page looks like. It keeps popping this thing up on the top and it's kind of like making it impossible for me to click on everything here. Okay, so this is what my seat looks like. I have one student who's in here who's active. And let's see if I can go to classes. And I have one active student. Let's just see if I can go into his. I don't know if I can get into anything from here without having to go in and go into his class. So there is a math class for Learning Upgrade that you take a placement test for it. It is a wonderful spot for English language learners because it is really set for the reading and the math are both set for ELL. they give you tons of reports, so that as the teacher or the tutor, you can see where students are. So like right now I have one active student. He's spent 8 hours and 47 minutes he's working on ELL currently. I'm not sure how, Shannon, do you know how to get into?
You might be able to just click into the teacher whiteboard, and it will pull up it should pull up what class you have the student associated with.
So like here you can see that it's going to click through quickly through these. I don't teach students. This is an independent. I have them work independently on this so that I can just help with the language piece of it. Click on a course. Let's see if it'll let me. Where's one seat from your school license? Nope, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't use any of my seats from my school. Can't use any seats from my school license to just show the whiteboard today.
And if you click into the class, and if you go into that class, if you go over to the actions, I think go to the right. No, you're going to have to go into it. We can do, Stacy, is provide in the recap email the link to the video of Learning Upgrade that we have on our Wisconsin Literacy website.
Perfect.
It does a whole walkthrough with Learning Upgrade.
Okay. Yeah, this is one that I use primarily. I use Learning Upgrade primarily in my GEO classes when I have students that are ELL learners and they need both reading and math. That's where I typically use Learning Upgrade. Okay, I am moving on now to, let's see, where was I at on my, let's go back to my presentation. Okay, Google Applied Digital Skills. This is the one I wanted. Okay, so here is another spot that is fantastic. Google Applied Digital Skills is super easy. You can log in with your Gmail account and you can go through and browse lessons and find lessons on everything. So I did, let me see if I can find a math lesson. Here, teaching students how to create a budget using Google Sheets, creating quizzes. I'm just create a guessing game. So there's a lot of teacher tools in here, or you can click down and just go by topic. So some of these things are probably higher end in the math teaching world. Calculating probability might be a little bit above where many students are. But when I have students that are working on primarily on GED, and I know that's a skill that we need to work on, these are a fun way to do, to learn the unit, because the unit will give you a video. I'm not going to play the video, but it's a video, and then there's a lesson and assignment, and then another video and an assignment, so that students are actually not having to it's not just blah blah blah. When I'm teaching math, that's the first thing I've learned. I've been doing this a long time, and students are not interested in blah blah blah. They have to have little videos. They have to have little fun things that will pique their interest or redirect their interest back to whatever it is that we're working on. So this is another one, Applied Digital Skills. These are just fun things to go and play around in and see if you find things that will work. That's kind of the point and purpose of tonight, is just to give you some things that maybe you've never seen before or you haven't really thought about using. These are fun things to share with students. And as teachers, I don't know, I enjoy going in and finding new things that I can play around in until I find exactly what it is I'm looking for. All right, so now I am moving on to YouTube. YouTube is probably my favorite place to find videos. for videos for sharing when it comes to specific topics. The calculator that I use with my students is this one here. It is the TI-30XS. That is the one that I can't hold anything up because you can't see it. They are the calculator for GED, and it is used in pretty much all of the teaching manuals. That's the calculator that they reference. So when I have a student that is just starting out with me, this is what I have them do, is sit and watch one of these videos that are on here through, I'm sorry, all these things are popping up, that are GED calculator videos. These are all from GED Testing Service. They create their own set of videos, and they have a whole slew of them. They're all along the side of things that you can have students practice with the calculator. They go hand in hand with the calculator practice book that is through New Readers Press. So that is here. If you go to the top of the top search bar, you can type in anything you are looking for, and they will give you a video. I always tell everyone, make sure you preview videos before you show them to your students, because occasionally they're not appropriate. So always make sure you watch the videos ahead of time. Okay, so next site, Teachers Paying Teachers. I am a big fan of not reinventing the wheel. So when I am looking for materials and I have something very, very specific that I want, I go into a website. It's called teacherspayteachers.com. And I've created an account. It's free to create an account. It is super duper easy. You can click on browse. You can click on subject. You can click on math. And they will give you a bazillion things that you can do for math. And I go down here and I click the button that says free. And then everything that is here is free. All of the activities. If you are looking for high school specific, you can click the grades. If you are looking for something that's a little lower level, because maybe you have a student that is an ELL student, so you don't want to get bogged down in the language piece of it, you can go into a lower grade until, you know, till the language is there to support that. There are other subjects, so this is not just for math, and this is one of those teacher tips for everything, because they do have all areas, all subject areas. So I'll just pull up the subjects so you can see the subjects. Okay, so this is kind of what I have here. I'll just pull up, let me just pull up one of these math charts, like piggy graph. So this would be one for like just a lower level, a kindergartner, that if you wanted to, you're learning colors and shapes, that would be something you could use for someone that you're teaching colors and shapes to. There's lots and lots of things on this site. I love it. This is one of my favorites. I use Teachers Pay Teachers a lot because they have packets and activities and lots of things in here. Okay, so did I hit everything up here? Let me go back here to my thing. And I'm gonna just fast forward because I had others. Okay, the other thing that I like to do is, it sounds dumb, and they need to change the name, but workbooks, math workbooks from the dollar store. You can buy in the teacher, like the teacher aisle at the dollar store, at Dollar Tree. You can find workbooks that have math, they're math books for, well, now $1.25, not $1, because they changed their price. And I use those a lot. I do, I reproduce those and I use them in my classes for students that just want to work on basic skills. Financial literacy workbooks, you can get those from your financial institution. And they're available through just about everywhere. Every financial institution has a financial literacy workbook. And then, of course, the YouTube videos. And I think that's all that I had for here. So let me stop sharing my screen, bring us all back together, and let's talk. Now, let me go back here and see if I missed any questions. Julie Schultz, I love the score boost. Yes, that's my favorite. Okay, so the question, Deb, you asked, Deb Hellquist asked a question about the specific diagnostics to link to the TABE. There is. If you go into MathSense, it's in the crosswalks and correlations at the bottom. There's also a diagnostic that I may or may not have here. There is also a diagnostic that for the TABE, but I would have to do some digging to find the exact title of it, because it's probably somewhere in the giant pile. Right now. I know exactly where it is, but to dig for it right at this minute, I will have to find the name of it, and then we'll put it in. I'll put it in the email. It is really, so with the TABE, the diagnostic tool that I have, it actually will tell you exactly what they need to work on. If they missed questions 1, 7, and 10, they need to work on this.
Okay.
So it's very, very specific, but I right now don't have it right in front of me. Plus with this background on, I can't hold anything up to show you.
Thank you very much.
Never a problem. Okay, other questions? This is like the super fast evening. I'm thankfully my dogs aren't barking. Dirty version of math. The subject no one likes, but everybody has to be in contact with every day. So, questions?
Julie from Tribal Ed, what do you think about the Badgerlink math resources?
I would have to do some more looking, and then I can let you know what I think. Fair enough.
No, I want to know right now.
Right now, you need to tell me right now. Okay, Badgerlink.
Just checking to see if everybody's paying attention.
I don't use Badgerlink, but I can certainly look at it.
Well, I do help my students sign up for an account for that resource, just because they can use it whenever they have internet access, and it does also save their work if they have an account. And I think it is set up now so that you don't have to use your library card. Before you had to access using your library card number, and now you can just use a zip code, I think. So that's cool. Just wanted to share and ask.
You want me? I can share my screen real quick. I pulled it up. If that's okay, Stacy, I could show the website real quick.
Yeah, I was just pulling it up right now myself. I was just looking at it here really quick.
Okay.
To see. Let me just pull up my
Learning Express library.
And Julie, are they having success using that website?
That I cannot tell you. Because I really like that suggestion about, setting up a separate Google Mail for them and using that and making sure that, so I can check on their progress. So that part of it, I'll definitely do so I can keep a little better track and see if they're actually using it.
I'll have to do, Julie, I'm going to go in and take a peek at that site at Badgerlink. I'm going to go in and take a peek at that when I have a little bit more time, because I think in the past I hadn't used it because they required the library card, and most of my students I work with in the jail. So it was not something that was super accessible. But the Gmail is so easy. It's really easy. And if it's not specific to a student, like it's not their personal, they're not having to put their personal email in, then they're more than willing to share those logins. So you can kind of go in and check then And I just tell them, hey, I'm going to create the Gmail account. This is what we're going to use as your login for everything, including like your GED.com account. We're going to use it for all of that. And then I won't need to access your email, but if I need to access your GED.com account to help put a test on there or something, then it's not your personal account. I'm not accessing anything personal then. And I also have them do literacy 1, 2, 3 as their password, because then it's not a personal password either.
Yeah. The other thing that I always point out to students on the Learning Express Library Badgerlink site is that there are other sections with core skills. So you can, we're talking about math, but there are different grade levels for math, and then there's also the different reading levels. So, and then it breaks it down by high school, middle school, grade school, etc. So thanks for letting me share.
Hey, no problem. This is the whole point, is that I don't have the market cornered on math at all. Everyone has a different experience, and everyone has a different kind of take on math. No one likes to teach it really, but we all have a different way of approaching it with our students. So it's nice for me too to hear what other people are using. Anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns? I know
Did I hear somebody say that you don't have to use that crazy login thing with Badgerlinks? It's really hard to get into. Something about your zip code?
Did Stacy just freeze up?
I think Stacy is
She
frozen
did.
at the moment. Hopefully she's going to pop back. I think Julie had mentioned that now you may not need the library card, and that you could go in through the zip code, use the zip code as you go in. I think that's what you said, Julie.
To Learning Center or something?
There's you either, and if you can't find, how does it go? If it's not listed, then you can just, if your library isn't listed, you can just use your zip code. It's been a while since I actually walked through those steps with a student, but I do know that they took that barrier down with having to require the library card. So
okay, but there was like a multi-step thing. It was
horrible. Not user friendly.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it's better now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. There's our Stacy.
Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. All of a sudden I looked down and I have no internet. It's gone. Sorry.
No problem.
We were just still talking about accessing Badgerlink Learning Express. So
it's on my to-do list here. I'm gonna make sure that I get in and take a peek at that.
And I think, Rocio, did you have a comment that you were going to make?
Yeah, I was going to say I was checking that website, and it says that you can only write, if you don't have any other options about libraries or zip codes, only to write Wisconsin in both of the entries there. So it looks like it's easy.
Oh, thank you so much.
Just write Wisconsin in there.
That's even easier. And in the chat, Stacy, while you had popped out and popped magically back in, Lori had listed that she uploads stuff on the open educational resources. She used, put a link into the oercommons.org for some more resources.
I don't see that on here.
You know, you might have been out, Stacy. So actually, Lori, if you could put that in the chat just once more, or here, maybe I can even copy it in there. Because if you don't happen to be on the call when something gets put in the chat, you don't actually see it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So here we
There.
are.
Okay, did it pop up now?
Yes.
Okay.
So your comment. Okay. See, this is my opportunity to learn too. That's why I like to do these, because this is my time to show a few things and learn a few things. That's what teaching is all about.
Yep.
Anyone else have anything to add? Any other tips, tricks, exciting math things?
So Stacy, I have a question. As you're working with a learner and we're all coming back to a face-to-face in-person interactions, or maybe we still may be on virtual learning, do you find, are the learners working mainly with their phones when they're on these websites, or do you provide, are they on desktops, Chromebooks?
I'm finding that most of them are on Chromebooks. Because usually if they don't own a Chromebook, I can usually find them something on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace for cheap enough. And that they're willing to maybe invest $50 into a used Chromebook. And then I'll meet with them and help them get it all set up and ready to go and get the sites loaded on there. And then we can work virtually because that frees up the timing. We're not as stuck anymore in the realm of brick and mortar, where we have to meet in an office and we have to meet at specific times on specific days. Now we can work, I had a student over the summertime that I met with her at 6 in the morning because we were able to meet virtually. And so we met 3 mornings a week at 6 a.m. because that's what she needed at that particular time. And then I have other students that might need to meet at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, which means I don't have to try and find a babysitter for my kids so that I can go and meet them in an office. So trying to help students get the technology that they need for a reasonable price, and then they can have that, they'll have access then whenever they need it. And they can use it for other things too. And another thing that we learn is like the online banking and how to do that sort of stuff. That's all financial literacy. And that they can use their Chromebooks for that too. Oh, the Study Buddy. I do not have one here. I have them all in my program at the jail, but I love the Study Buddy as well. I was told I couldn't talk only about GED, but I use them exclusively for GED just because they're the greatest thing ever created. My students think they're like a Game Boy. Let's see if can I pull up the website for that?
Well, also, Stacy and everyone, it isn't just GED cartridges.
No, they have other ones. I have only used the ones though for, I've only used the cartridges for, let's see if is there a thing to show?
And Julie was showing what they look like. So if you want to hold it up again, Julie.
Oh, yep. Okay. Yes, they're fabulous. Those are great. So for myself, I only have the cartridges that are specific for GED, but they have them for language. They have them for what else?
They have them for algebra, I know, and other kinds of math.
Yep. And it's all, so all that stuff is all, the math is pretty specific for the GED. That it's all, a lot of that stuff is on the GED. So that's what I use mine for, is when I have, I frequently have students in the jail that need that one-on-one but I may not have the ability to do one-on-one because I may have 8 or 10 students in a class. So I put them on a specific with the study buddy.
Stacy, in the chat, Julie shared that she has GED cartridges in math, even ELL reading. So it doesn't just have to be used in the jail programs too. So it could be another tool that you could look at. And that is something that if you were interested in learning more about, you can contact and get have them send you one to use for a little bit to try out. And then it's also something that we can help agencies acquire to buy for programs.
Anyone else?